My name is Jason Arday. I'm Professor of Sociology of Education at the University of Cambridge, and I'm very fortunate to be the author of Great and Unfortunate Things. I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. I learned to speak just before the age of 12, so I was 11. I learned to read and write when I was 18 years of age. Those milestones became quite significant. 12 years after learning to read and write, I gained a PhD, and then I ended up becoming one of the youngest professorial chairs in Cambridge's history. The memoir is a story of a mother who advocated for their non-verbal and autistic child who, on a spectrum of autism in terms of global development delay and other things, navigated lots of different difficulties in this journey that ended up becoming this memoir.
Jason Arday was once the darling of academia. Now he's resigned amid scandal. A string of allegations regarding plagiarism and tall tales raise questions about himself, Cambridge University, and higher learning in general. Arday became the youngest black professor in Cambridge's history in 2023. A stunning achievement for someone who said he was mute until 11, has struggled with his autism, and left school with 2 GCSEs.
I went to university at 20, but I had the reading age of a 9-year-old. You know, so you're trying to really kind of...
Really? I mean, is that possible?
Yeah, it is. Muhammad Ali spoke about this idea of will versus skill. Now, I don't have any skill, but what I do have is an indomitable will.
Concerns about Arday's credentials as a professor of sociology of education have swirled around Cambridge's spires for years, but they came back to the fore recently. Writing on Substack, a self-described race realist Nathan Kofnas wrote, "I was recently contacted by a faculty member at Cambridge who alleges that Arday is a plagiarist and fabulist. He added, I ran Arday's 2015 PhD dissertation through the plagiarism detection program, CopyLeaks. It found substantial overlap with previously published work." That dissertation was submitted to Liverpool John Moores University. They said a confidential procedure had been conducted and that Arday's PhD still stood. But 2 of his articles in journals have been corrected in recent years following further claims of plagiarism, with Arday admitting to referencing errors. Cambridge University had begun an investigation, as had his college, Jesus. But then Arday resigned, criticising an unrelenting level of scrutiny and attacks. Arday said that while criticism is inevitable, what I have experienced has gone far beyond scholarly disagreement. The relentless accusation, speculation and public commentary have taken a profound toll on me and on those I love. He said the resignation should not be mistaken for an acceptance of the narratives that have surrounded me. The allegation is that conservative figures are taking down black academics in their war on diversity. Kofnas, who wrote that original Substack
I just
about...
hate when we're the face of the race issue. Oh my God. Okay, come on.
Arday, has himself been criticised for his views on race and academia, which have been described as deeply offensive. If your concern is about a very important issue of plagiarism, are you not concerned that those figures on the right are actually using this to not address something like that? They're using it to attack diversity, to attack sociology, to attack universities themselves.
Well, yeah, I would just say this. We are the face of everything wrong when it comes to inclusion and Title IX affirmative action. Yeah, we're the face of everything wrong. We're like the face of, I don't know, like, how do I want to phrase it? We're the face of everything wrong with diversity, is what I'm seeing. From TV to film to this, you know what I'm saying? Anything when it comes to that diversity, we're the face of it, and we are the poster child for everything wrong with diversity. And it's always one of our faces attached to it. That's the part I hate, and that clearly is an agenda. But let's continue.
That's possibly true, but what's the best defense against that? The best defense against that is, for me, is to maintain academic standards. And sociology does have academic standards, and they need to be maintained.
But another history professor at Cambridge was found to have plagiarised and remained in post just a few years ago. Why was that not front page news? And is there a wider concern here about plagiarism at a time when there is a financial crisis at universities?
They have to publish articles in the best journals to almost survive these calls of redundancies. Does that mean there's a lot more plagiarism? Well, I'm sure there is pressure on some academics to look at other people's work.
Plagiarism is generally taken the least seriously. A lot of charges have been raised. They've, been confirmed, and many people remain in their position.
Why is plagiarism not taken that seriously?
I don't have a good answer for that, honestly. Part of it is there's the ability to deny it and say, oh, this was just a little bit of sloppiness.
But there were wider concerns with Professor Arday. Talking to The Guardian, he said a pig's head was once sent to his parents' address and that police looked into the matter. But the Met said no investigation had taken place. And his Cambridge faculty page said he had visiting professorships at Glasgow and Ohio State universities. Both institutions have now said they have no records of Arday holding such positions.
Honestly, I would say it taints the reputation of all academics and folks in these embattled humanities fields.
But is the concern there that he's letting figures down? Or is it that other figures, black, ethnic minority, are looking at this and saying, the minute you put your head above the parapet, you are hounded and hounded?
There's a bit of both in that, but he was put up as the poster boy by Cambridge in his biography and by the people who appointed him then. I'm going back again to the...
So Cambridge has more to answer than him?
Cambridge has something to answer for this, yeah.
Arday has denied he is a liar and fabulist and spoken about the scrutiny he has faced and the pressure of his role.
This might sound like a crazy thing to say, but I don't really like research. I find it difficult. Being an academic is really, really difficult.
Just like with any thesis, there are multiple chapters. Arday has questions to answer. But there is also the concern about his apparent hounding out at a time when there are so few senior black academics at universities. And there are still plenty of questions for Cambridge, and whether the university did enough, not just to support Arday, but whether they should have put him in this position in the first place.
You broke the story of Jason Arday. Tell me the story from your point of view, how this unfolded.
Jason Arday, a DEI hire, the youngest black full professor in the history of Cambridge University. Last year, it became widely known among faculty members at Cambridge that Jason Arday's backstory was totally fraudulent, that much of his work was plagiarized, that the work that wasn't plagiarized was of an absurdly low quality. These rumors, they were known to journalists. Arday hired a fearsome law firm specializing in defamation to intimidate the journalists into silence.
The story unfolds and there's an attempted cover-up from Cambridge.
So Arday called the police on Dave Harris and Jack Grove, the journalist who was asking questions.
Over time, more and more of these preposterous things have come out. I've actually compiled a list and I'm at 61.
This is the most extreme case of plagiarism that has ever occurred.